Been way too long
Hi.
since we got everyone from Eskimo, Joe in, Cav, Joel, Stu. G'day, boys. Welcome. Good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
We can start that again anytime.
It's early morning,
We'll,
right?
we'll cut that in.
21 years since you guys started the band, still as rock star as ever. Does it feel like it's gone pretty fast?
Yes, it does. I think you have kind of different moments where, like, for music is such a seasonal thing where there's long periods of time if you're writing a record where you're at home and that feels like everyone's forgotten about you and you're just there in your own little room writing a song. But then you kind of go out into the world and realize that people still are listening to your records that you released before, and then that goes really fast. And so it's this kind of very weird, like, seasonal world that you live in.
And for 21 years at least in the industry, you don't look broken as people. You look quite fresh.
We're broken on the inside.
On the inside.
Yeah, but that's good for songwriting.
Yeah, true. Yes.
Hey, boys, the fans are incredible. We know that. We've seen some of these gigs recently, those gigs with the orchestras and that. They just keep coming back. But was the weirdest gig ever at Bern in Switzerland? You've told me this story, Stu. When they,
The zombie hands.
The zombie hand sounds like a weird
Zombie
experience.
spirit fingers.
Yeah, the zombie spirit fingers. That was. I didn't think that was. Obviously, it's weird, but it
It's
was
more like
weird
an
in a
X-Files
magical
scene.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah,
It was kind of
yeah.
like the Shaun of the Dead. When
Right.
all of a sudden they realized the whole town is zombies. But it was the whole crowd just. As an encore, they go ooh, and they hold their spirit fingers out and wave their hands in the air, and it gets louder and louder, and the pitch rises, and then they do a big Mexican wave from the front of the stage to the back.
Oh, is that a Swiss thing?
Yeah.
Apparently
Yeah.
so.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a
We-
standing ovation.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
apparently we played a festival some weeks earlier, Girton Festival, I think it was called.
Oh, yeah, good.
And after we walked off stage, we thought something was feeding back on stage, but it was actually the whole crowd just doing this. Ooh.
That's unreal.
And then the stage manager's like, they want you to go out and play something else.
Yeah, just in the fact you needed it explained is the funny part. That's great.
Yeah.
Now, guys, the re-release of Black Fingernails, Red Wine. We talked to you, Cav, when you last came to join us on the yacht.
On the yacht.
On the
Oh,
yacht.
yeah.
I'm very disappointed we're not on a yacht today.
It's a
Sorry,
yacht
the
rock.
$10 million yacht. How good was that?
In my mind, I'm always on a yacht.
Yeah. Of course.
Now, you talked about the album and said, that was an album where the stars kind of aligned, you all came together, and it was just this real perfect moment for you all. Do you think when that happens, the memory of that, does that make you sort of tougher critics on work to come, like when you continue to write?
Absolutely. I mean, I think we're always very tough on ourselves. Like, I think any band would tell you the same thing, that you're your own worst critic. But that was definitely a moment where we had previously written a record, A Song as a City, and we were really proud of what we'd achieved. And we had this moment where we went to the ARIA Awards, and we were nominated for 8 ARIA Awards, and we were like, yes! And we dressed up in our suits, like we were going to a prom.
Yeah.
And we got there, and we lost pretty much every award to Jet. And every time they got on stage, we were like, you mother... Ah! And anyway, but when Jet got on stage, they looked like rock stars. They had, like, their hair was out, they had leather jackets, and I think the penny dropped for all of us at that point in time that it wasn't good enough to just be the dudes from next door living in Fremantle. We needed to be rock stars. And so we walked into making Black Fingernails, Red Wine with this idea that we were going to put on this kind of coat of armor. And when you suddenly get into character, amazing things happen. And so we wrote these songs from our heart, as we always do. But we kind of put this swagger into it, and it was just a really liberating thing,
We went from being our own worst critics to we are amazing. Basically. That
well,
was
it
the
worked,
only
right?
difference.
Nothing
Yeah.
wrong. No, the confidence is good.
Yeah, and that I find that really interesting actually as a performance technique because Tim Minchin did exactly the same thing. He was kind of thinking about giving up
Yeah.
and thought I'm going to give it one more crack
And
and
go
I'm going to
whole
put on
hog.
this character, this mask, and he was all of a sudden braver than he could have been as himself.
Yeah.
But I think it also triggers a different part of the brain as well. I know personally I have no chance of ever having a vibrato when I sing, but if I put on a stupid voice, it's immediately there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's amazing. It's ridiculous.
There's a lot of people fake it. It took a while, Joel, for you to have trust in me because there was some guy calling himself Dean Clares who was it bugging your dad trying to find out what the lyrics meant many, many years ago? I remember you saying that to me.
That happens often.
Because was that?
Yeah,
I think one day you said, "Was that you?" I went,
was like,
no. it wasn't
Yeah,
me."
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But do you
true.
get have you guys had fans jumping into bedroom windows, or any of that kind of stuff? Did it get a bit crazy at any stage?
Constantly.
This morning?
Generally, it's our children jumping into our bed.
Yeah,
some
exactly.
These days. But no, there was some, definitely when we were touring that record, there was some pretty crazy moments. I remember leaving a show in Melbourne at the Palais, and we were kind of like all really exhausted, and we'd given it 110%. We got out, and this car had been following us the whole time, and they ran out. They were like, "Oh, can you sign all this stuff for us?" And I think that was a real moment for us where we were like, "Oh crap, things have changed." You know, like
Beatlemania.
yeah, a bit of mania, and and going to things like big day outs where we used to be able to just walk around in the crowd. It was a bit more like that kind of thing where Shaun of the Dead, where you suddenly, oh my God, they've noticed us, and then suddenly they start to swarm on you. So yeah.
Well, the sound of Eskimo Joe is unmistakable, particularly with your vocals, Cav. Is there a song or a band that would maybe be a stretch for you guys, but you would just love to have some fun with, just really kind of sink your teeth into?
As far as a band that we would love to
Collab
cover
with?
or
Oh, well, yeah, to cover or to, well, if you want,
Collaborate.
Joel's ready to collab. He's already got someone ready in mind.
Yeah.
maybe Lizzo. She's pretty amazing. Have you heard Tempo, the new Lizzo song?
No.
Okay, well that's not
Bruno
great.
Mars would be fun, I reckon.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yes.
cool, because when we started, we wanted to be the Police kind of thing.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And he's good at singing that kind of,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. He can pull off Sting.
And the
So
rest
that
of his
could
band,
work.
the rest of his band are fun too, in the
They're amazing.
NBA gear.
Yeah,
Yeah, very cool.
they're awesome.
We probably get most excited about producers, and so people like Mark Ronson, who
Yeah.
produced that Bruno Mars stuff, and
He is the ubiquitous
He's
man,
extraordinary,
isn't he?
isn't he?
Yeah.
he is. So, like, I mean, if we think about collaborations or people who we would love
Yep.
to work with, we probably
It's
more,
usually behind the scenes.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
the people who push the faders who excite us.
I'm just going to put in my 2 cents and say Tom Waits, because I just think that would be one of the most extraordinary recording sessions you could ever. I mean, you'd be in there in the barn banging on bits of metal.
Yep.
Can we make it happen the next time you guys come in?
Please
Can
do.
we put,
Yes.
we'll pick
Yeah.
something.
That would
You
be-
guys can choose it and we'll just get you in and we'll just let you have some fun in the studio. Go
No, I thought
crazy.
you were going to get Tom Waits in.
Yeah.
If you
Well, only if
Failing
we
that,
get
we
Tom
could get Rick Steele. The
Rick
Perth's
Steele
Tom Waits.
and
That's
the
Luke
Hot
Steele's
Biscuit Band, yeah.
Luke's
Katie?
dad. Yeah, and Katie's
Yeah.
dad.
We
Okay.
can get in Rick Arden. That's the
And
best
his
we can do.
Rottweiler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking about blues musos. Dave Hole, there you go.
I reckon just Dennis
Yes.
Cometti would
Dennis
be.
Cometti?
Oh, you imagine.
sea.
But no one
What
says
a-
like Tom Waits.
He's
do
got
they?
pipes
You'll have to
sure.
do a bit of
And it comes to you.
gargling of gravel.
from 50.
From the 50.
And I've got to say, everyone loves a special treat that's a new vinyl product, guys. This is pretty
Oh, yes.
exciting, isn't it?
Yeah,
know.
well, we get excited by records in general because we still, we live in this world of streaming and downloads and all the rest of it. But really, I love a piece of vinyl.
Love the
because
tangible.
Yeah, because it's tangible, but it's this big piece of artwork that you can hold in your hands. And I mean, look, people still listen to CDs and stuff, but I get really excited by vinyl. And the Black Fingernails vinyl that we've put out and the CD, we've put every B-side that we wrote during the Black Fingernails process, and there's songs that I'd totally forgotten we'd even written. There was the crazy little thing called Love, or what it was called, or
Some of them best
one little
forgotten.
desire. called Love, yeah. But they're like bedroom recordings, and I was listening back to a bunch of them, going, "Oh, this is a great song. Oh, I love this song," and I'd totally forgotten we'd even written it. It was great.
Yep.
Yeah. And was there a day when the vinyl rolled up and the three of you got to unwrap for the first time? Because that'd be pretty exciting.
It was like Christmas.
I've got boxes at home
Have you?
waiting to be offloaded onto the hungry fans.
Beautiful.
Shaun of the Dead. Yeah.
See what I did there? Hey, thanks, boys. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.